So how do we find out details on a company in terms of financials and what they make, what their products are, and everything else? So best place probably is Dart. It's dart.fss.or.kr, and then you will go to Dart English here. So English Dart FSS or .kr, you could note this. So here you're gonna find latest disclosure, things like what they did, that Korean Aerospace recently announced their entering into contract with Boeing in an amount of 186 billion won, which is about 6.7% of total sales last year. And things like that you can find here. Not many companies diligently disclosure announcements in English as they are required to do that in Korean. So you're gonna find limited information, but it's still very helpful. But in any case, if you want to find out something very basic about the company, and you will probably need something like company profile, and then you will type in some company that you'd like to find more about. And I don't have it here. It should be somewhere here, Aerospace, Hanwha, Samsung Electronics. Okay, I cannot find it, so let's try again. There you go, Samsung Electronics. Then you will select like this, and then you'll find like very basic things and more information here. The change in capital of major shareholders, but the information here is very outdated, I think. So I wouldn't recommend you to use anything here. The financials you may want to find out. Most of the company here are not listed, and Cosby is more cost. So what I'm trying to say is you could definitely utilize Google translations to find out more. Best thing that probably you want to use is 사업보고서, which is business report, something like annual report in Korean. And let's say you wanna find out Samsung Electronics. Here you go. Okay. Well, right. I'm stupid. I'm typing in. So yeah, you don't wanna. So you wanna type in here, and so I mean, unless you know Korean, this is going to be very, very, very difficult process for you. But it's useful. I mean, if you could utilize it, it's very useful. for example, what their business is. There should be one status by division based on headquarters company, 9 scope subsidiaries in Korea, CE and IM. So by business group, the set business includes CE division, which produces selling TVs, monitors. So you forget about what it says here. It's awkward translation. CE division, which provides sales TVs, monitors, refrigerators, network, and so forth. And the main product by division, which is CE division, I believe. LC division has TV, IM division this, and this has 2 divisions. One is semiconductor, and the other one is DP, which is display. And then you have, Haman, which they just bought for like 2 years ago or a year ago, something like that. They had bought Haman, which is the audio company. So, and then they're gonna tell you, very basic things about the company operations, starting with CE, which is a TV related. Since developed the black and white TV 1626, the mass productions of sales and color TVs, and so forth and so forth and forth. So you would, be able to study more about their LCD business and IM business. So every year and every quarter they're gonna update this. So you want to study the latest version, of which is probably the 3rd quarter. This is semi-quarterly report. So you wanna, and then they have quarterly report, which is up to date to 3rd quarter this year. And then you want this whole thing translated. I would recommend you to go to contents of business. So the content business, why is not turning to English? So you will go number 2, which is about business, what they're doing, everything English. So based on whatever we went over this before. And then you have CE division, starting with what the characteristics of industry is. And it is useful to just run through this to find out about this company. That's the most practical, most popular way of searching the information by Korean stock investors in Korea. It's gonna be not so easy, but you could always utilize Google Translation to and find everything about how to use a dart. But another thing I would recommend is you want to utilize some private information providing company, which is Fnguide. The Fnguide is a very company that is close to Bloomberg, or FactSet, or forgetting all the names, but there's all different company information providing businesses. You want to sort of like this is free, otherwise you have to pay for it, but company.fnguide.com is free. And this is going to be a pretty interesting place to go, because when it's basically, as far as you use the translation, they will show you very useful information. So we'll start with Samsung Electronics. It used to be electronics, but they left out the electronic parts here. But anyway, this company is been performing pretty well. So currently the price is around 50,000 won. 57% of the shares are owned by the foreigners, non-Koreans, and the yield is 24%. It closed on Friday of 5,400, which is 900 up, one up from the previous day. And we could utilize, and then obviously this is one of the largest cap company in Korea. So 100 million based is 335 trillion won. So which is about 300 billion US dollar. And then they have preferred stock, but I'm not sure here they have that recorded. In any case, they recently stock split from 5,100, so they used to be like 1,000,000 won, but then now it's 50,000. And then they have status ownership by managers. So who owns this company? Samsung, Mirror's, and so forth and so forth. And shareholder status. So 일간이, I'm not sure if he's still alive, but yeah, he's alive legally, I'm sure. And then there's no pension service, NPS, owning about 10.5%. Oh, BlackRock has a lot of shares here, and then there, whatever here. Okay, and this is something I go about Samsung Electronics probably at some degree, so you would already learn a lot, study or heard about the company. But let's say you never know the company, and how the first thing I would go is I would again go to Fnguide and then names here. Or yeah, it's you at least need to know the names of the company in Korean to use this, unless you want to use like a Bloomberg, which is like what, $20,000-$30,000 per year. So it's going to be very difficult to afford such amount of money if you are individual rather than the institutional buyer. So this company is Celltrion, one of the largest bio pharmaceutical company in Korea. Their price is about 170,000 won. Slightly went up from yesterday. The previous day. Has about 22 trillion won in market capitalizations. The largest shareholder also is the Samsung asset, according to Fnguide. But their shareholder by a year before, the end of last year, I say, is basically Celltrion Holdings owns the controlling units at 23%, and then IN Investment has 9.5%, and National Pension has 7%, about 7%, and then they have treasury stocks and things like that, and obviously institutional investors owns quite a bit and a lot of analysts are, recommending it to buy. So what kind of company Celltrain is? It's founded in 1997, relatively new to other, compared to other companies. The purpose of research and development, manufacturing protein medicines. The company produces various medicines, including the anti-cancer drugs based biotechnologies and animal cells culture. Now, 140,000 liters of the animal cell culture protein drug production facility, which is largest in Asia. The world is the first biosimilar for the treatments of autoimmune disease. Remsima was approved for sales by US FDA in 2016. So this is basically a first biosimilar company in Korea, founded in 1991, and it grew so much after 1991 and became one of the largest stock in Korea. So in June 2019, the revenue and operating decline or whatever, we'll get that later in more detail, so you don't have to really learn about here. But company sales were affected by reduced production due to partial operation Remsima, the world's first antibody biosimilar, has 60% of market share in Europe with success products. Proximo and Herzuma remain solid. So they're basically selling a lot of a biosimilar product now. A little more details in how the companies are, addresses and everything here. Production name. They're still the CMO, and they sell. They produce something for other companies, and Remsima and others were starting to sell, and it's kind of dropped in the last year, but and others. So you could go through this, who are the largest shareholders, and what they're doing and everything. So, and here another very useful information is obviously financial statements, equity analysis, financial statement. Okay, well, anyway, the consolidated and separate. If it's separate, it's consolidated. So obviously wrong translation here. So their sales are like this, and you can check out the operating profit, how they're doing since 2016. It went up in tremendously in 2017, but then it's kind of dropped down last year, and then we're gonna have to look at the consensus of market, what you're expecting of this year. What else do we have here? And then you have financial ratios. I like to look at the operating margins. This company has very solid, lucrative operating margins, like 30%, lowest and 50%, highest. So their average is around 40%. That's pretty good margins for a bio company. ROAs, and I guess something happened in 2017, because that's when a lot of numbers been very large. The growth rate has gone down a bit here and here and here, but then margins going up. margins has improved. So I guess this company is this is quarterly. So quarterly, you may want to look at the investment. Yeah, you want to look at annual numbers. So the growth is pretty high, but it's very fluctuating. Last year there wasn't any much of growth. This year not much growth until 2019. So when they came out with new biosimilar, that's when their results came out as good. So 2017 was the probably best year, because you have sales growth here about 41 to 2%, and then you have operating margins that skyrocketed to 50.5%. So I mean, I'm sure the stock price, they hit the peak here and then came down for the margin squeeze. So that's probably what's going on with this company. Again, this company sells biosimilars along with other products, but I think the biosimilars are like the most promising and most value added products or sales they are making. So basically, you could come here to learn about the financials about this company. I look at it, the growth rates, and I look at the operating margins. And another thing I really look at very importantly is something like net debt to equity ratio. Here we go, net borrowing ratio, and then obviously their net borrowings are very, very small, so they don't have much debt. It's a good company, I guess. I like debt with very low debt. So we just studied a little bit about Celltrion. It's very basic. That we learned that they have the biosimilar businesses. Its sales contribution may not the largest, but what is important matter is that their margins definitely coming from those similar biosimilars, and the biosimilars are the huge markets globally. And when you look at Celltrion, that's the things that you probably wants to focus on. Is it going to really be that successful as they claim that they would? Because there are a lot of skepticisms about this company before. Is it really possible to sell biosimilars in the United States by a venturous Korean company? And then it turns out that after 10 to 20 years they actually did it. So there's been some controversy, but it seems that it has resolved it quite a bit. So just check out what's going on with this company, especially regarding the recent the event. You would definitely go to the neighbor. Show you neighbor before. Then you want to go to the this is security. So you wanna like check out this letter here. So you would push down that, and then after googling it with the translation, this is what you're going to come out with. And then in the investment strategies, you would have a report on the company. So you would perhaps find sell 3 on. Okay, then you have to look for it, and then you have many reports. So you would just collect one, and then before, like I told you, you wanna translate Google using the Google translation. Let's see what this is. So you wanna like see title of the sell string is sell string needs plus alpha 2 upside. So it needs something a little more to bring the stock price up. As expected, sell string's Ramsima SC has been formally approved by in Europe. Ramsima SC is not a conventional intravenous injected, but a subcutaneous injection type with improved convenience. As a result, unlike conventional biosimilars, patents can be guaranteed monopoly status, and price are not expected to be significantly affected by the drop in the price of original drug. So that's something that says about this report. I wanna check out this one too. Mirror assets. So I guess it met expectation. Ramsima, it's Austrian. So their earnings were in tandem with consensus. Austrian posted third quarter 19 sales of 291 billion won, which is 25% up from same quarter last year, and the operating profit of 10.3 billion won, which is also 40.1% up from last year on year. This is in line with our estimated market consensus. Revenue accounted 45% Ramsima SC, and 29% of Troxima, 90% of Seva, supply of Tebelzan Zopi, which is migraine medicine, 1% of Hujuma, and then 70% of Steri Sultran Farms. Although you may translate this, but we looked at the margins and everything before, so I'm not gonna go through this. We just studied how to utilize the public information places for free. Best thing is go to Dart, and then you could find out the basic information by using English confirming information provided by the government, FSS. And then this, if it doesn't satisfy you, you could utilize company.fnguide.com. so that you're gonna be seeing a lot. You're gonna get the price, company overviews and financial statements. Yeah. And that's all. Well, this is for today, and thank you for listening, and please enjoy learning about the companies in Korea, especially those are listed in KRX.